Hello, happy Thursday, everyone. Hope you're all well. Hello, House of Stapes. Hope you're all well and enjoying the weather, if you have a balcony or a garden and can pop outside. No jazzy tune this time. Yes, sorry. I found it quite distracting last time. It went off into a random Spotify playlist. So, yeah, no jazzy tune this time. Hello. Hi, Tom. Hi. Hi, Darren. Hello, Shalano. Oh, my favourites are here, which is nice. I want to hear everything that you have been watching over the last 2 weeks. Oh, thanks. My hair looks gorgeous. Cheers. Cheers, Tom. Just threw it up into a ponytail. I've been doing schoolwork all day, literally non-stop, and a couple of live lessons as well. So it's been quite a busy day, and I also put myself under a lot of pressure to get everything done so that I can just do a bit of marking over the weekend. Hello, Shalano. Afternoon, I know. So I'm very excited that the weather's going to be nice, even though we're cooped up inside, and there's actually loads of stuff that we can see online now. It's actually incredibly difficult to keep up with what's out there. But helpfully, a teacher friend of mine constructed this amazing sort of document, which I'll put up on something, my Facebook or Instagram, which says everything that's streaming online: ballet, dance, theatre. So that's really, really, really cool. So we've got Darren for our weekly chatteroon. Apologies last week, I was just feeling absolutely exhausted. So here we are. I'm looking forward to hearing what Darren's been watching. Hello. Oh my God, look at your hair.
Well, I cut it myself for starters, but also just fresh in the shower. I've been in the garden all day, so.
Oh wow.
Yeah. My skin looks really patchy as well. So I do apologise.
Goodness me. Right, I'm just going to turn you up, darling, because I can't hear you properly. I've had it on.
Oh no.
No, I've had it on quiet because otherwise all the notifications zoom up while you're in the middle of lessons. Hello. Oh wow. Caught the sun as well.
Yeah.
Good, good.
I can see it there.
Hello, David. Hello. Everyone's joining. Oh, so it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Oh, that's good. I've got a good filter on now. I don't mind.
That's better lighting.
Yeah.
Much better lighting.
What have I been up to? Well, to be fair, spending most of my days gardening, sorting out the mess out there, and then doing a bit of writing, which is exciting.
Cool. I see that Mr. Sycamore has just joined. Could you go to a different room, darling? I can hear the echo next door. It's like, echo. What have you been doing? It's quite funny.
Yeah.
Hello, husband. Yeah, good. So, any writing this week, Darren?
Not so far this week, no. But I've been churning around some ideas, which is really, really cool. So how I tend to write, to be fair, is I allow the imagination to just do what it wants. That's absolutely. And then it's like
creative juices.
It's like throwing ingredients into a big bowl and letting it ferment and go together and then see what happens, really.
Very creative process.
Well, yeah, because the thing is, what I find is when you sit down, for me personally, when I sit down and write and I haven't actually fleshed everything out, you end up really stuck because you're like, okay, where does this go now? So what I've done is I've established a pilot for a new possible Netflix drama. And so I'm not penning it properly until I've really established what it is the story's trying to say. So
I think it's trying to say that there's definitely a strong 42-year-old female.
Well, actually,
central to the plot. Actually.
Well, I think I told you before. Most of my writing, the central characters are always females. I don't know why. I just prefer writing female characters.
They're more complex.
Yeah, I think they are more complex. But also, I think there's more things you can do with them. And also, not being a female myself, I like to explore things outside my comfort zone. So I think that's
Nice.
maybe why, I don't know. And I don't know. I love women, but just not in a sexual way. So
Apart from your ladies on your mug.
yeah,
Are we Earl Greying today?
of course. And
today's brew? Oh, what cake have you got?
red velvet.
Oh my goodness, that looks really nice.
I was going to bake my own this week, and I couldn't be bothered. So I went to Sainsbury's to do my regular shop, and I have to say, their Taste the Difference range of cakes are really, really good. So I recommend them. Yeah.
Well, we last night we had a sticky toffee pudding from Marks and Spencer's, which was rather nice. It was one of those kind of like, oh yeah, I really want to eat that, and then forgot that sticky toffee pudding actually requires a bit of oven.
Yeah, you can't eat that cold.
Process. So 9:30 was like, oh god, we've got to stop now, make a cup of tea. You know, it was that kind of, it was only 10 minutes, but
I get it.
It's disruptive. To the evening. Yeah, no, I was gonna do myself a quick scone. I do like scone. I do like an afternoon tea, and I did go for a little jog because the only place around here that has the Rodders clotted cream is the Co-op, so that requires a run down there and back up because M&S is not stocking clotted cream. Well, we've only got a small. It's a garage.
Oh, okay.
Nest. But that's where I'm doing my weekly shop at the moment. That's the top of the hill. So I didn't quite get a chance to do that. All I managed to acquire prior to this and finishing the schoolwork is a glass of water.
You mean wine?
It's actually water.
Yeah.
No, I haven't actually. Do you know what? In this entire lockdown, I think I've had one gin and tonic.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't drink. I celebrated my 1 year being sober on the 5th.
I saw. So congrats.
Thank you.
So
Wasn't
that's
intentional.
All the preliminaries done. Is everyone out there needs to tell us what theatre they've seen in the last 2 weeks?
I saw.
2 week catch up.
I saw 1984, the Northern Ballet version last night. Thanks, Tom. It's really good, actually. It's not quite like the play. I mean, I guess it is, but obviously it's done in dance. So unless you know the story, I think it'd be quite challenging to really make out what's going on. Other than the fact you see this guy in a nice, happy life, then all of a sudden something happens to him and he gets tortured. But in the play, I guess, with people talking and stuff, you actually get a real grasp of what's going on. So, yeah. But it was good. I'm glad I watched it. I mean, it's only like 90 minutes, and it was on the Northern Ballet's YouTube, but it's come off now. They got they're putting things up per week and that kind of thing. So I was sitting with a group of gay guys, my friends, in the It's Culture in It group. So they're on here and on Facebook. But they got about nearly 1,000 members, and obviously,
I feel excluded.
No, you can still come. Yeah, no one excluded. No. But we do events. So every week they do like a theatre show or an event or something. And they've been to some of my shows as groups as well. So they're really supportive and they're a really lovely bunch of guys. So It's Culture in It.
Nice.
Is their tag. So find them on Facebook and on Instagram. But yeah, you join them. Actually, I suggest you. I put a thing when I go on there next. Yeah,
I'll come in my hat. I'll put a tie on.
But you'll love it. You love the gays anyway, darling. So it's fine.
So Andrew Lloyd Webber. Now let's just go back through. We've done Jesus Christ Superstar. We saw the Joseph.
Phantom.
I didn't do Love Never Dies, but you did. We chatted about that last time. And then this week was a concert. Did you watch?
Yeah, but the thing is, funny enough, I was actually at that concert when they did it 20 years ago. I think it's 20 years ago, whenever it was. I think it's a bit of a cop-out. But even this week is
by Jeeves.
Yeah, I've never seen it, so I may tune in.
I think I will.
Yeah.
I like a bit of By Jeeves. I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't either.
But in the blurb it mentioned Alan Ayckbourn. I've recently directed an Alan Ayckbourn Chorus of Disapproval back at school, back at Christmas. Do like a bit of Ayckbourn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll tune into that. It's just over the weekend though, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I might watch that. It's going to be good weather. I might watch that in the afternoon on the Sunday or something, depending on, not going away anywhere.
I mean, I might give it 20 minutes of my time, and then if I like it, I carry on. If I don't, then I'll switch off.
Yeah, exactly. It just seems there is so much going on online at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm actually finding it quite, now that I'm back at work from home, it's actually quite hard to keep up with it. And also I think as well, it's, I don't know, I'm quite happy to sit through something for 2.5 hours or whatever when I go out. I don't. Concentration span at home not so good.
And you get distracted. You go on your phone. Things happen. Yeah. But the thing is, like last night, for instance, there was 10 guys, 10 of us, all on Zoom, so we could all see each other. And then on my TV, I had it on YouTube. You could watch it via Zoom, so it's on my TV as well. But it's just funny watching other people watch the same show you're watching. So you're seeing all the and then we're all clapping at the interval and.
We should do it. We should do it as a. We should get some of our regulars as well. We should do it as like a Zoom.
A Zoom theatre club.
And it could be like Google Box, but Google Box for theatre.
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea. But it was
like,
good.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. All our different reactions.
And then you just type to each other. You type messages to each other in the chat.
Yeah.
And we're being a little bit. We're being a little bit vulgar, but. Yeah, I will.
Roosters. Hello. And Shanano says, I haven't seen anything theatre-wise the past 2 weeks.
Oh, never mind.
Never mind. As I had a thesis and a portfolio due last week. Oh, well, I hope you made your deadline.
Hello from Mexico.
Mexico.
I'm having some red velvet cake.
I'm really hungry. I literally worked through the whole afternoon. I was like, got to get this done. Got to settle the work for next week. Put it all online, and so didn't manage. But just before I came on, I was looking at so that's Andrew Lloyd Webber done. So National Theatre, they're really churning at the moment. I'm liking that they're putting stuff up for a whole week. The Andrew Lloyd Webber is kind of now I'm like, I'd quite like to have seen Love Never Dies. Oops, never mind. But with National Theatre, I'm very excited about what's coming up. So coming up is Barbershop Chronicles. I saw this at the National.
Did you like it?
I really loved it.
Okay.
Really loved it. It was the students loved it. I think I loved it more because I was watching their reactions to it and because we were sat downstairs and it was quite immersive. And for some of them, they'd never seen anything quite like that. I'm not sure from what angle they're going to have filmed this.
Yeah.
That could have some, bearing on my enjoyment of it. I don't know whether it will translate so well to a filmed version, but I think from a drama teacher's perspective and from being able to write loads about it from character perspective and from the way it was set and things like that and audience reaction, great. So it'll be interesting to see how that translates. So I'm looking forward to that. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw the National, when it was on. But what I find interesting, the more I'm watching online, I think dance translates perfectly.
Oh, God,
yeah. Because the way they can cut it and the angles and stuff, it just flows with the story. I think you're right. When it comes to plays and performance.
Yeah. Let's talk about Frankenstein then.
So do you prefer Johnny or prefer Benedict as the monster?
I preferred Benedict.
As the monster?
100%. Okay, but then having said that, and I was debating this with a friend of mine today. She went, did you see both versions? And I was like, yeah. And I think it may be because I saw the Benedict version first.
Okay.
So when I was watching it the second time, I was like watching, and then to be fair to Johnny, I was skipping through a bit and then like, oh, how did he play Frankenstein? How did he play the creature? So I think I got that impact seeing it the first time as Benedict, and maybe had I seen it the other way round, I would have different feelings about it. Do you see what I mean?
No, completely. Yeah. It's like watching a show with a star and then having an understudy who's actually better.
But having said that, I then watched the opening and I flicked between because I was like, oh, this is a great lesson. So if any of my students are listening, you're going to be doing this. And I was basically looking at the acting skills in that opening, and Benedict Cumberbatch, whichever way you watch that, he blew Johnny out of the water on that opening. His physicality was phenomenal.
When he burst out.
I do think it went on a bit too long, but his physicality was phenomenal. What about any of our listeners, our viewers? Who did you prefer? Did you watch both? Did you watch it at all? Did you watch both, Dan?
No, I just saw Johnny as the monster. I don't know if I could be bothered to watch it twice.
No, I didn't watch it all the way through.
But I would probably watch the opening sequence with Benedict, because I think that's the most impactful version of the monster.
Just watch that opening, and then that's it.
And the rest of it.
Because if you had them both up on the screen and you were watching, blows him out the water. It's being marked against an A-level criteria.
Oh, is it? Fair enough. Can we just have a discussion, you and I and whoever else wants to get involved, about what's happening with theatres? Like the fact that the Henry Dickens is up for sale, the fact that the Nuffield, Southampton Nuffield is into administration, the fact that the barn in Cirencester is maybe going into liquidation. You know, all these places it's
awful.
It's going to get worse before it gets better. At the same time, the thing is, the phoenix flew out of the ashes, and I think sometimes we need this almost like a reset, and then just to kind of reimagine what else needs to be done. And I'm also getting a little bit lost with where people are. Like, I know Salt have put an official statement out saying there'd be no shows in the West End before the 27th of June.
Yeah, I saw
and I know that. And then Cameron McIntosh released a statement saying he doesn't see any theatre before January next year, before February next year,
which just throws everyone into chaos. And
well, Natalie, think of it this way,
drama.
Do you want to sit in a theatre where you have to wear a mask? Yeah? Where basically, like, you're in a half-filled audience, which means you only get half the atmosphere.
No.
Do you want to do that? Then that's what's going to be happening.
So no, the only time I have ever sat in a theatre, although actually I was walking around, to be fair, promenade, in a mask, was Punch Drunk.
Yeah, same. But
that was amazing.
Yeah, but you're part of the performance in that, so that's why. And it's the whole point of masking that is so that you become anonymous, so you're not part of the characters. But I mean, with regards to this, I can't see why anyone would want to pay good money to see a show with a half-filled audience.
Hello, West End Wilma.
And hello, and a half-filled audience, and I don't know actually, Mr. Wilma, you may want to comment on this one as well, but it's a half-filled audience and wearing a mask. I mean, do you really want to sit through a performance like that? I mean, it just seems bizarre. I mean, you know what it's like, the energy of an auditorium when it's half-filled anyway. You know, and if that's is the best it can be, it just doesn't work. I don't think it's going to work. So I don't know what the outcome's going to be. And as a producer, I am I mean, as you know, I've cancelled all my shows this year. But, I have nothing until February.
That's just thinking about our big theatres. That's not thinking about little, the little studio theatres where you are this close to the actors. And that's the point of it. It's all about intimacy and...
I know it's hard.
Being close to the actors, it's what it's all about. And the other thing is as well, it's like, there's talk now of the possibility that schools may be opening in some capacity after half term, maybe some classes and everything. I'm like, well, what am I going to do in drama? What am I going to do? Stand at the top of the stairs of the theatre and yell down to the kids on a microphone, and then they yell across the stage and I dot them out about the theatre, and, we just, it's, I mean, currently we're just doing really vocal stuff online. We're doing radio plays and, thinking about voice and discussing and a lot of theory.
I do love a lot of discussion, a lot of theory.
Exactly. But it's not, you know, it's not the same. But then having said that, those things do happen in the classroom. There are some classrooms where, you know, lessons where you're incredibly static. So it's just switching it round. But it is funny. And someone said on one of the teaching websites the other day, oh, brilliant, when we start back at school, we can't do devising, we can't do this, we can't do a school production, we can't go to the theatre, we can't do anything. It's quite,
yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, have you actually been given some kind of guidelines yet as to how you can run your classes?
No, because we haven't been told anything yet. We're waiting for that guidelines. We think there's going to be an announcement on Sunday. There's a big meeting today anyway, probably now as we speak. There's probably something happening.
They're probably
much more important than our discussion.
They're probably passing around the volleybants, you know, like saying, darling, how should we deal with this, you know, crisis? You know, what should we do about the drama club? You know, what should we do about the West End Theatre?
It's has there been any news yet on Broadway? Because if you think about it, they closed, was it a fortnight before us?
They closed.
So
it was a bit of a mixed bag, but the thing is, for New York, it hit them harder than it did us because of the way that the structure and the density of population is. But I think Bantam was the last show to close, but don't quote me on that in case I'm wrong. But I think they were the last one. In London, Come From Away was the first show to close. I know that much.
And Old Vic as well.
And the Old Vic closed. Yeah.
They put their hat in the ring, and
they just did it. I mean,
and then all the announcements happened, didn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting because I mean,
hello, Chris.
Hey, Chris. I have no idea what is going to happen. Like I said to you before, all my shows have cancelled now. I'm done now until next year. And I had a show booked for November, but I'm not even doing that one now because I can't start.
It's not worth the risk.
Show that no, it's not worth the risk because I can't raise money and book venues and shit like that if I actually don't know if I'm going to go ahead with it. And the thing is, like, it's one of those studio spaces where if in the big houses they're on about half capacity to kind of like limit the contact with other people. In those studio spaces, it's like what you said. And no one, as Sheila said, like, wants to sit in a theatre where it's half capacity at its best, let alone anything else. And I think the hardest job as a producer, from my point of view, is going to be wooing those audiences back into the theatre. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a ticket price thing. I think it's going to be just the whole like safety element to it and the enjoyment side, because as Sheila said, no one wants to sit in a half-filled house. No one.
But even then, it's like, you know, part of it is the, you know, the buzz of the interval, isn't it? Popping to the bar, you know, the queue for the loos, all of that. How does all that work? Because that's not even, you know, that's just.
What are they? Is someone going to wipe the toilet seat over every time someone uses it? I mean, like,
I know they'll have to get those special Japanese ones with the kind, you know, like they all that high tech stuff. But you know, I just don't know. And you know, people will be anxious about braving London transport to get to the theatres as well. And then also, you know, actors at stage door. There's a huge contingency of theatre audience, you know, who are absolutely in love with their cast, and they, you know, they will go and go and go, and they've got their favourites, and they want to see all the understudies, and they go to stage door, and
it won't happen. But also bear in mind that the West End survives on tourism, and if there's no tourists coming into the West End,
I know.
I mean, regional theatre is different because obviously regional theatre is a local theatre, and studio spaces. I mean, actually, let's talk about studio spaces. What are Trafalgar Studios thinking?
When you posted that and then I saw it came out on the press, I was like, but that's part of it. What I loved about that is that it is a studio space and it's bang central, you know? After that, you've got the King's Head, but that's not a central, it's Islington.
No, you've got the Donmar Warehouse and you've got, like, and that's it really. And then
and you've got the only other one you've got is that, but it's not as nice, is oh god, where did I go the other day? Not the other day, it was quite a long time ago now. Upstairs, we were talking about it the other day. Soho Theatre.
Oh, the Soho Theatre, of course. Yeah. There's 3 spaces there, but Yeah, it's
Yeah.
different. Even the programming at Soho is very different because it's all new works and it's comedy on like drag and stuff like that. In the cabaret space downstairs, and in the main space, it's a little bit alternative. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Reading these comments, and
yeah.
so Shalana's put, it won't feel the same without a full house. Definitely. In Ireland, they cancelled secondary exams, preceding level certificate. Yeah. And then Tom, safety element regards to how people get there. Everyone trying to leave. Absolutely. Shalana, I was going to New York in September. It's not going to happen until the following year now. I think New York's still a bad state. Yeah, absolutely it is. I've got friends dotted about America, and yeah, it's really tough. And I had a friend, I've mentioned that previously, Charlotte. She was meant to be going in half term. She was going to go and see Moulin Rouge after my love of it. And
well, it's coming to London next year, so she might as well wait.
I know, March 2021. That's going to be fine.
Yeah, we hope.
Well, everyone will be booking that because everyone will go, yeah. Although maybe by March, everyone will be trying to go away on holiday for the first time because that will suddenly seem possible. I don't know. How would front of house staff challenge anyone who seems poorly? There's nothing worse than someone with a cough. Yeah. And I had a huge debate with people. I put that out once and it was like about 700 people because I'd put the... there's a thing on the National Theatre's programme about theatre etiquette, and there's a bit about coughing, and I put that out, and people got really angry. I just sent the photo because I thought it was interesting. But yeah, there'll be worries every time someone clears their throat. And also there's that awful thing, isn't it? You know, when you are trying to stifle a cough.
Yeah.
So you'll be like, I haven't got it, but I've got this. And you'll be like, you get into a ridiculous state because you'll be trying not to, trying to prove you're fine. But yeah, I just school theatre trips, well, it's all up in the air. It's quite funny because I was like, yeah, you can put your calendar entries in for September. I'm like, will there be a school production? Don't know, can't put that in. Will there be any theatre trips? And can't put that in. Yeah, I've got nothing to put in. Normally I'm the person that's got hundreds and hundreds of things. It's like bizarre.
Yeah, I get it.
We'll be watching online theatre for a while and, doing tasks that revolve around that.
But also things like with television, Coronation Street's going to run out of shows very soon. Emmerdale at the end of this month, they're going to start doing reruns. Are
they not doing? Because someone was TV producer friend of mine was talking about. They were talking about in Australia. They were saying, I think it was Neighbours, that it's running with a real skeletal staff, and they're only doing scenes that are duologues.
As far as I'm aware, here nothing at the minute.
That would be quite difficult to sustain.
Well, also, how are they going to put this into the show? Because the show's already, it's not in the show at the minute, and we're living in lockdown now.
Yeah.
So how it's? I know soaps aren't real life, but they're still bringing real elements.
And now we go to the Rover's Return, or I don't even know what the pub's called. And now we go to the pub. And there's no one in the pub, or there's like one man over there.
They can just do an episode where everyone dies of thing, and they get rid of all the soap actors and they get new ones in or something.
And they all come back to life.
They'd be recasting, Natalie. There'd be a role for you.
Yes, definitely. So it's all peculiar. I mean, lots to watch, but as we say, nothing beats the buzz of being at the theatre live, I think, is what it comes down to. But I think, like you say, if you're watching one of these with someone, or someone else is on Zoom or something like that, like you say, I think it does make it more fun. I certainly enjoyed Jesus Christ Superstar more because I knew that you were watching it at the same time and we were having a chat about it. So I think hello, Oswald Sire.
George. Hi, George.
So I think that makes it more, more
absolutely.
interesting.
No, yeah.
So they've got, tonight is Antony and Cleopatra.
I don't know if I can sit through it again. I saw it at the National. It's very long.
So here's the thing, yeah, you know, I love Shakespeare. That, you know, I've just put out 2 podcasts on The Tempest with lots of lovely actor friends, sort of recent graduates, ex-pupils, and RSC, National Theatre, guy from Pretty Woman, Mark Holden, etc. So some amazing actors, and I've done that because Tempest is a text that I'm teaching, so I thought I'd combine the 2, and it was a nice little project. And the RSC have released, I think, 6 different shows online as well. And I kind of, and I watched The Twelfth Night, the Tamsin. I really enjoyed that, actually. The Tamsin Greig.
Yeah.
He's literally in everything at the moment. I watched
my God,
things in 1 week.
Did you watch Belgravia?
I watched her in Belgravia. I watched her in Twelfth Night. I watched her in Friday Night Dinner. And then I've been watching, I've been absolutely loving, and theatrical people out there will really love this, and you should watch this. On Netflix, it's called Behind Number 9.
Oh, okay. What's that?
Oh, you'd really love it, because actually from a writing perspective, what a clever vehicle. Can't remember the name, someone Pemberton and someone else, something Smith. And it's literally different houses called Number 9, and then a storyline behind them. It's all twists and turns. It's 18 rated. And the one in the hotel lobby you'd love. It's in iambic pentameter, and it is a complete parody and piss take of Shakespeare. It's very, very funny. But the rest of them are just all random, different. One's very Addams Family. One is like a 70s kitsch horror movie. They're all completely different genres. Some are bang up to date, modern. They're 25 minutes long, so they're like snappy. You can do 2, and then you're happy. You've done TV for the evening. And there's like 4 series as well. So really, really, really good fun. And she was in one of those as well. So I was like, I've seen her in 4 things in 1 week.
She's doing one of the Talking Heads, isn't she?
Yes, she's in that song.
Yeah.
But I did think Female Malvolio was quite successful, because I said, I don't know how I feel about that, but I thought she was brilliant in that. Didn't think she was as good in Belgravia.
I find the thing about her in Belgravia is that I just think that it was trying too hard to be Downton Abbey, where it should have been. I know it's the people behind Downton are the same producers and writers and stuff, but I think it needed to step aside. And I think her clipped RP, it was a little bit too like, now I need to sit like this.
I think for me, what got me is the fact that she was in it, but also what's his face, the dad from
Philip. Yeah, Philip.
He was in it as well, and that's what really made me. I was like, when they kind of, they very rarely actually had an exchange, but when they did, I was like, "Where's Jim?" I'm like, because I'm so used to seeing them Friday Night Dinner, but I thought she did Malvolio. I thought she was phenomenal as Malvolio. Actually, I really, really liked that production. But I am feeling a little bit Shakespeare'd out, and I never thought I'd say that.
No,
I'm feeling a bit like, you know, there's Coriolanus coming up, but that's a great production.
Who's the lead though? Who's playing him?
I can't remember.
Because
if anyone knows, if anyone can look it up quickly, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I put it up on my Instagram. I threw them all up there. They're doing Streetcar Named Desire.
With who though?
Young Vic production.
Is that Rachel Weisz's production?
I think so.
Then that's brilliant.
Not sure. And then
she did Donmar Warehouse. Sorry.
Mm.
Who did it at the Young Vic? Oh, I can't remember now. But yeah.
I literally looked really fast after finishing my schoolwork, so I've not done my research this week, so I apologise everyone. But and This House, which I was going to go and see, and then just I was too busy. And actually, there were really mixed reviews from people that I know and really respect opinions of.
Okay.
And I think in the end, it just tipped it and put me off. And so I didn't go.
Fair enough.
Which isn't usually me. I'm usually like, I'll go and make my own decision. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they've literally thrown stuff up for the week of the 28th of May, the 4th of June, 21st. You know, they've got us covered for a bit.
Yeah.
So they're just getting us interested. Anything else out there? I still haven't seen that Flowers for Mrs. Harris that Tom keeps recommending.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
And I will be watching Wise Children this weekend, definitely, and I'm going to watch Fleabag because we talked about that.
Yeah.
But then I had to get the Frankenstein out of my system because it's timely, whereas the others are on for a while. So I'll do By Jude. I've got a bit more time this weekend, so. Anything else that you've seen that's out there? There was a What the Butler Saw, I think.
Oh really? With Samantha Bond, or?
I'm not sure.
I saw it. I saw Samantha Bond do it at the Vaudeville a few years ago now. It's fun. I do like a bit of Autumn.
And then something popped up on my Facebook. You know when it says interested, and then you click on it, and it was Leopoldstadt. Oh,
I missed that. It was out obviously when we lockdown. So
because I was going to sneak in the previews, and then it was a standing ticket, and I was like,
oh no, it's not that.
I'm like, no, but it was standing, and it was like standing. I was like, no. And that was the night that I scooted around the corner, walked into Uncle Vanya, was gonna get a up ticket right up in the gods, and then this man turned around and went, do you want a ticket for this evening? And I went,
very lucky. That's
please.
Good.
Do you remember that? And I ended up with a £90 middle of the stalls ticket for absolute free. And I was like, well, can I buy you a drink in the interval? He's like, oh, we've already booked our drinks, darling, and you can't get me a program either. Here's one. And I was like, oh my god, because I think his mother-in-law was unwell, so his wife was staying at home.
Did you get his number?
I did really well, and I loved Uncle Vanya. So that was an absolute result. Just walking into the building and debating whether I was going to get Royal Circle.
Hi Ryan. Hey Dan. Hi Zach.
Hello everyone that's just joined. Yeah, so lots of announcements, but yeah, everything's still incredibly vague.
I guess we know more next week when they do the announcement on the weekend. Like I said, Theatreland, I think it's just going to be a no-go for a fair few months, I would have thought now. But mainly because even if they reduce the lockdown stuff, it's like what I said. You know, wearing a mask in the theatre, having half-empty auditoriums. You know, it's going to be some kind of pared-down version of the shows. And all the security checks, you know, you got your mask on. You got to make sure you wear your mask. You know, like if someone takes it off, people are going to go. It's going to be like the new mobile phone thing. Like, you know, people eating in the theatre or using their phones. You know, you took your mask off. Oh my god, put your mask back on.
But also as well, it's really uncomfortable, and you get all like hot and sweaty.
It all comes up, breathing up.
And also, you know, sometimes when you're in the theatre and you get a deep breather. Yeah. So when I took we went to see A Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe at the Bridge Theatre, which was brilliant at Christmas, and I spent a lot of time going, is someone asleep? Just a really deep breather, and I don't know, having that on the face, is that going to be quite? I don't know. Some people be quite noisy. It'd be quite distracting. I mean, I know we're going to be sat apart, I presume. I don't know. I just don't know.
We don't know.
We'll know more.
So let's just be in the moment, not stress about anything. Don't think too far ahead. Enjoy the reset. Enjoy the stillness, and just watch as much stuff on the TV as you can at this moment.
Yeah.
And we won't get this opportunity again. Maybe not.
Well, I'm working harder at home, hilariously, than I would be when I was at school. Like, because there's no kind of parameters of when school finishes and ends. You just carry on working because you've got to get it done. Whereas at school, you'd be like, right, at this time, I log off, and then I've got a rehearsal, and then I go, and then it's kind of like, you know, actually one good thing that happened this week, which I thought was going to be, you know how everything's just cancelled, is National Youth Theatre. Some of my students got into National Youth Theatre, yay!
Oh,
Because
well
I thought that was going to be there's no, I mean, I don't think there's any summer courses, so that's, you know, by the by, obviously. But they still honoured the fact that those kids had auditioned and were good enough to get places. It'll be kind of deferred till they are able to do the courses. But that was like, oh, because when I wrote the email at the end of last week, I thought they'd say, nah, not doing it, or cancelled, nothing. So that was a positive. And then I guess, you know, when school's back, all the kids will be doing devised pieces about the coronavirus, which I will be.
Yeah, exciting! Can't wait to watch those.
And if you're interested in that, on my new YouTube channel, I created a rather overlong monologue, but do click into it anyway and watch the first bit of a teacher who was very distressed doing their first online distance learning disaster lesson. So that's on their new YouTube channel. All our clips are on there, Darren.
Oh yeah, I saw.
All of them are on there. All our little blah, 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 blah. So this one will go up there as well. So yeah, all good. We'll touch base next week.
Yeah, let's have a little chat in the meantime about what we want to, you know, open up a discussion with. Might be some more news for us next week.
Pardon?
There may be some more news for us next week.
Yes, hopefully.
So get yourself a nice piece of cake so you can join me with a scone. So get some treats.
I'll bring cake and tea to the meeting. And we all need to clap at 8 o'clock, obviously. And then, you know, as and when schools return, I imagine everyone on a Friday night will be doing a glass of wine to the teachers outside the door.
Are you doing anything for VE Day tomorrow?
I hadn't really thought about it. Should I be doing something?
Well, I don't know, but I live in a close community here, and we've been gardening together and stuff, whatever. We've been in lockdown together. So we're going to have we got a bonfire in the garden tomorrow evening to burn some garden waste. So we're just going to have a little barbecue, a few of us.
Yeah.
With some social distancing in some respects. But like I said, we've all been living kind of together for the last 2 months.
Yeah.
So we feel pretty safe with each other. But we've been doing the garden together, which is really nice. But yeah, just to do, not even to celebrate VE Day as such, but just to do something in the evening, which is with real contact with people.
Yeah. Well, we've got I think we're going to have a barbecue. It'd be nice to get that out. It's going to be nice weather. And other than that, not to celebrate VE Day, but I did buy my husband he's a Beatles fan. Well, you can't actually see them today, but normally you can see like all the Beatles album. And we've got a lot of memorabilia. And so I bought him the Beatles Monopoly Yellow Submarine game.
Very nice.
It's going to come out of the packet this weekend, definitely. Because there's been a lot of teaching and learning going on in this household over the last 3 weeks. It'd be nice to just, you know, stop and do some of the things that everyone else has been doing, the kind of more family stuff. Be nice to actually
go for a walk.
Because it's been kind of, we've been talking to lots of people, like having meetings in Zoom and having meetings in Teams and having lessons. But we've all been in separate rooms so that we don't have the echo and the feedback and stuff. So it would be really nice to actually touch base and do the stuff that everyone else is possibly getting bored of. Because we haven't actually had a chance
to do it yet. Yeah.
But now that the kind of, you know, most of my assessment is now done with regards to GCSE and A-level, I'm kind of on top of things. It'd be nice to just put some records on, read. So I've got, you know, this one I've been meaning to read, my Ian McKellen. I've got my Stoppard. I've got my Audrey. I've been meaning to do, you know, these are the things that I want to do. Elton. Bit of singing. A couple more requests on the NHS songs for the NHS requests Facebook site that my friend set up. No podcast recording this weekend. I'm just taking a breather.
Taking a break.
Yeah, and then the next one coming up, I'm going to look back at a production of Equus that was at Trafalgar Studios and also Theatre Royal Stratford East. And I've got a couple of people that were in that lined up to do a bit of chat about their characters, because Equus is an A-level text as well. So I'm kind of throwing that one together.
Nice.
And then any ideas for the next podcast? You know, or any requests of who you want me to chat to, because loads of people are up for kind of phone interviews and things. So any particular themes? Or I might chat to my friend Gareth Snook, who's in Wise Children, so I might link it in with the stuff that's online.
Good idea.
But yeah, so that's it.
Okay. Right, big smile.
All right then, take care, my love.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Take care. Hope you have a nice weekend. Bye. Bye, Darren. So bye, everyone. It was lovely to have our little theatrical chat as usual. Do have a look at the new YouTube channel where I put all these conversations, and I've started doing some random monologues as well. And you know, if there's anything you want us to talk about, or you see any productions online that look really interesting that you want me to have a look at and review, or you see anything that you think I should teach my students, then drop me a line. And take care, keep safe, and love to everyone. Bye bye.